Huh, when did I end up in alternate lens flare world?
Is someone there? Oh, hey Watchful, what brings you here?
Hey EG, well I saw you just released your first review and just got your Rift door installed. I'm looking for people to collab with on ideas till Season 7 comes around, so I figured I'd drop by.
No problem. Sorry if my room got you a bit disoriented. I like to have my mural give me comfortable vibes to get inspired. I can change it with a snap of my wings. I keep this whenever I review episodes. And if I want to analyze, I do this. I analyze anything that brings fun visuals in the background.
Oh hey, I didn't know you were an Okami fan. Sweet.
Oh yeah, Okami is definitely a fun adventure game. It has great symbolism, unique story, and Amaterasu resembling as God of the Sun. When that came in mind, Celestia popped into my head.
I can definitely agree on that. I love everything about the game. Though now that you mention it, Celestia and Amaterasu do actually seem pretty similar to each other. Not just in color scheme, but other reasons like...
Controlling the sun?
In fact, I think we just found our topic. What do you say we look over all the similarities and analyze the comparisons, and maybe even deliver some culture to these bronies?
Sounds good to me. You got me who's a fan of Okami and Sunbutt.
Alright then, in that case, on this episode of Watchful Watchings, analysis is coming back to the channel as I and EG find the comparisons between these two sun mothers.
For those who aren't familiar with the series, Okami is an adventure game exploring through Japanese history, combining with several elements of the country's mythos and culture.
Which is surprisingly accurate in its cultural research, and at the center of the game is the wolf god herself, Amaterasu. She may look like a wolf with red tattoos, but this is more than just a wolf. She's the origin of all good and mother of all the other gods, which is just like her real-life goddess of the same name, who is not just the goddess of the sun, but of the very universe itself.
Seeing Amaterasu as the mother to all and goddess of the sun, what does that resemble to you? Obviously, Princess Celestia. She also is like a mother to all of Equestria, and they both have the ability to control the sun. Unlike their names, Celestia's name is the meaning of pertaining a homeworld spiritually. In Okami, the term represents Ami's celestial brush, an ability that allows the player to manipulate the environment from conflicts.
They are both also defenders of good and light to the world they watch over. Both Celestia and Amaterasu have stepped up and stopped evil darkness from taking over. Be it bugs to evil kings, they will die to defend their subjects. Though Amaterasu has a far better track record than Celestia nowadays.
When you bring it up that way, that's really why Celestia lacks any background. I would like to see an episode of her.
Someday we'll get that episode. Someday. But getting back to the similarities, there's also one I don't think many will find. They both have a sibling that fell from grace. That's right, it goes beyond just face value. You see, while Celestia has Luna, Amaterasu has Tsukuyomi. And guess what? Both Luna and Tsukuyomi have ties to the moon, and are relatives to the sun gods. Though, in addition to Tsukuyomi being Amaterasu's brother, they were also husband and wife. Boy, how that would have been weird and awkward if that was taken over to MLP. Less awkward is the fact that Luna and Tsukuyomi both did something that was pretty evil. Luna tried to overthrow Celestia, but Tsukuyomi killed the goddess of food. However, they were ultimately both banished for their deeds.
Did they even have a choice to banish them? Of course not. Celestia regretted banishing her own sister. I can imagine her fearing if she would ever be a great ruler to Equestria without her sister. But wouldn't. Ami, however, died after facing her darkest foes. Everyone who praised her began to lose faith and feared gods that were dwindling, confusing her to a different entity. Like if Ami was evil and making her become a weak goddess. You see, bronies? This is how you write a ruler suffering from the consequences of saving their kingdoms. If you think Celestia is a tyrant just because she abandoned her sister, you thought wrong.
Exactly. I guess you can say hashtag down with Tyrant Lestia.
I know, right? Celestia deserves more love. She's not even the brooding emo type like Luna was. Which brings me to a more fun subject. Notice how Selly and Ami have a sense of humor? Damn, they're so adorable.
Oh yeah, they both love having a sense of humor and just having fun. It makes sense considering they both love light and make the world better. Adding a little humor around will light up anybody's world.
And since I'm a big fan of goddesses, Japanese mythology and Native American tribes consider the sun as feminine energy. That fits well with Celestia and Ami from their personalities. The sun is the source of giving life, strength, giving us great vibes and clarity. What makes their subjects keep their lives going? The sun, of course.
Exactly. The sun to this day is pretty much the source of all life. While we certainly don't worship some sun god to this day, its power and symbolism to life and everything is still present. It inspires us and keeps us going, just like how Celestia and Amaterasu inspire their subjects every day with their heavenly sun glow. There's also one more similarity that's a tiny bit of a stretch, but it's still worth noting. You see, they also have mythical items that they pass down to their next generation. Celestia had 6 in the form of the elements of harmony, 6 statues and gems that embodied harmony and peace. However, while Amaterasu had mythical items, they were only 3: Yato no Kagami, the mirror, Yusakani no Magatama, the jewel, and Kusanagi no Tsurugi, the sword. However, the idea of words embodying the virtues of greatness is very much rooted in Japanese culture, like with the 8 Confucian virtues, but that's a completely different topic altogether and we're kinda getting off topic.
The only difference is the elements of harmony were purposed to redeem friendship. Okami gave away a much deeper exploration with the story's mythos.
Exactly, and much like the game, we hope this analysis video will encourage you to explore more about what we're talking about, involving not just the similarities but also the Japanese culture we were discussing.
If you're a fan of adventure games, I'm sure you'll enjoy Okami. Its style really helps you learn a lot on Japanese mythology. When it comes to anything Japanese related, the mythology being adapted into original material is the best influence that exists, personally.
That is something I can agree with you on, and we can go on about that, but that's about all the similarities we can find. I'm sure there's more similarities, but I think we have covered the bulk of it. Thank you for joining me and helping me for the CG Studios.
My pleasure, Watchful. I may be a beginner in the community, but it looks like I'm gaining a lot more experience than I expected.
Keep learning and I know you'll go far, kid. And next time, I'm gonna be looking through the rift doors one more time and pull another newbie. But until then, I'm the Watcher Pony, and this is why I Brown.
And I am Iji, and this was our Pony Analogy.
We'll see you guys next time.